guys, my name is Claire. This is Claire Minded. Today we're talking about Vata season and how to transition like a boss, and these are going to be 8 healthy habits for fall. So as we transition from summer, this Pitta season, into fall, which is Vata season, we have a lot of like qualities coming with us. And as we transition into Vata season, we're going to be getting a lot more Vata aggravating type of qualities built into our environment. So as this transition from summer to fall, a lot of things are getting drier, things are dying off. We're coming to an end of the whole cycle here, which is the Vata time. Things are kind of dying off. It's getting a lot colder around, we gotta grab our jackets. So this is a super important time to carry with healthy habits, because as we move through this transition, we have a lot more movement going on around us. There's a lot more air, there's a lot of changes happening, and these are exciting for Vatas, which they love because they love the movement and the air, but these will only push Vata to aggravate their dosha even more. So these healthy habits are going to be great for any dosha as we transition into Vata season. Because of all this excess air and ether moving on around us, we want to make sure that we are settled and stable within us. So transitioning into fall like a boss, these 8 healthy habits for Vata season. Let's go. Okay, so our first healthy habit for fall is keeping clean. And I'm not just talking about your daily shower, which by the way, you should do that too, but I'm talking about keeping your digestive system and your colon health clean specifically. Because as we move into fall, we have that air, that ether, that movement, that coldness, the dryness really starting to amp up, not just around us, but in our bodies too. So we want to keep our digestive system and our colon system very, very healthy, because the colon is directly related to the Vata dosha. That's its primary location. So we want to make sure that's clean, because when Vata has a tendency to spike and go out of balance, you will first be dealing with a lot of gas, a lot of bloating, because you have so much of that extra air in your body. I mean, yes, you can have the occasional cookie, but you want to keep more so of that sattvic diet and more Vata pacifying foods. So you want to be eating more earthy, heavier, stable type foods because of all this extra movement. You want to keep the digestive system clean. Keeping it easily digestible foods, slightly warm, slightly spiced, are going to be the best for the digestive system. And then building off of that, you want to keep your colon healthy, because again, when Vata is spiked, we have a tendency for dryness, constipation, hard stools kind of exiting our bodies. So we want to keep our colon healthy, maybe incorporating a little bit of triphala into our dinacharya practice as we transition from summer to fall, because the triphala has a natural laxative type quality to it, and when you keep consuming it regularly, it's in your body and kind of just helps your digestive system move everything like efficiently and cleanly, having it with some warm water to really help move through the digestive system. So first healthy habit for fall, keep your digestive and your colon system healthy. Second healthy habit for transitioning into fall is lubing up. And you've heard this before, and I'm going to tell you again, abhyanga, self-oil massage. Do it, especially in Vata season. As we transition, our bodies are drying out. Our rasa dhatu is getting so dry, and we need to hydrate that back. So our skin, we might feel a little bit like cracked lips. Your joints might be a little like drier, a little flaky. So you want to lube up. Grab some oil and just slather it on your body. Sit for about 20 minutes, and then you can go rinse off in the shower. Vatas are really good to having some sesame oil, because sesame is super earthy, it's super grounding. Coconut oil is really good for the Pitta dosha, and then sunflower or mustard oil is very good for Kapha dosha. Again, just lubing up, slathering on, making sure you're hydrating your physical body, which will essentially hydrate your internal and subtle bodies as well. So abhyanga, do it. Third healthy habit for transitioning into fall is more self-care. This is the perfect time to do some self-care too, as we're moving from sunshine into more of that lunar phase, the hibernation. We're transitioning, a lot of things are dying off around us. This is a very good time to start to tune more inward. So Don't feel so guilty if you skip a night out with friends and decide to make dinner by yourself and, just read a new book or something. Like, snuggle up on the couch, grab some tea. This is a really good time just to kind of check in with yourself to see how you're doing physically, mentally, emotionally. Tone into that subtle energy in your body. Take a long bath with some essential oils. Get some rose petals all around you. Sage the apartment. It's really just time to clean out and just check in with yourself to see where you're at. Give yourself some extra self-love. Write yourself a love letter, just journal. Cook yourself a new meal. Anything that kind of just really helps you check in with yourself is a really good time as we transition. Fourth healthy habit is just to stay warm, and just grab an extra blanket, grab some sweaters. It's a perfect time for sweaters, really snuggle up with yourself, make warm tea. Vata season has a very high tendency to be very cold and very dry. So we want to balance that offset by warming ourselves up. So, sleep with an extra blanket, make yourself some warm, nourishing, Vata grounding tea, and make sure you keep warm this fall. Fifth healthy habit for fall is to eat seasonally pacifying foods, specifically pacifying for the Vata dosha, but these happen to also be the foods that are in season in this time of year. There are a lot of root vegetables, a lot of potatoes, a lot of heavier foods kind of come into season in the fall, and these are specifically pacifying for the Vata dosha, which make them super, super great. So they're great to incorporate back into your diet to kind of help balance all of that air and ether, that movement going around outside us, probably within our head too. So you need to be eating more nourishing foods. Have some sweet potatoes, some yams, get some rice, some veggies, some cooked veggies, and just nourish yourself with warming foods. So you want to focus on the sweet, the sour, and the salty taste. And these three tastes are preferred for the Vata dosha, or as we transition into Vata season for any of the doshas, to really just help maintain. And the sweet, sour, and salty taste have a lot more earth and water elements inside of them, a little bit of fire, and these again just kind of help to offset the balance of that excess air and ether that we have during the transition into fall, and kind of bring it back to balance, because we're eating seasonally, so we have more earth, more water in our body. We're nourishing ourselves by lubing ourselves up, we're staying warm, so we're really trying to offset these balances, this excess of air and ether during our transition from summer to fall. Sixth healthy habit for transitioning into fall is to just breathe. Taking a few slow, deep, conscious breaths can really help and reset your body, your mind, and your spirit. Breathing helps you kind of connect back to yourself. It calms your mind and body down, and it's a really great practice to do anytime you're feeling stressed, you have anxiety, fear, doubt, a lot of Vata imbalance signs and symptoms that we could be experiencing during this fall season. Pranayama, breathing, conscious breathing, can offset that by bringing you back to that rest and reset part of your system. The seventh healthy habit for transitioning is to fall is to embrace routine. And myself as a Vata, I always struggle with routine because it is just it's so stabilizing. Even though that's something as Vatas we crave and we need, especially during this transitional time, I want everyone to just be embracing with a big hug their dinacharya and their ritucharya practices. So dinacharya, again, is that daily routine. I've emphasized this so much because it is so important just to have a routine that you do every single day to just check in with yourself. It's your daily practice of being who you are, what you're doing, where you're at. It can the emotional or mind aspect of it may change day to day, but the physical action of doing it, sitting, praying for 5 minutes, giving gratitude, breathing for 5 minutes, meditating for 5 minutes, yoga for 5 minutes, anything that connects with you, add in some tongue scraping, some conscious abhyanga, that self-oiled massage. These are all so important because you're connecting yourself back into your truest source inside of you. Having this, maybe just eating at the same breakfast time every single day, your body can connect to that. You can focus on that, and every time you eat that breakfast at the same time every single day, it's that grounding moment of being oh, okay, I'm eating breakfast right now. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I feel secure and safe in this moment. So really embrace routine, whether it's eating at the same time every day, working at the same time every day, practicing yoga at the same time every day. Just have something that is so stable, and this is a great place to incorporate that dinacharya practice. And the last healthy habit for fall is to slow down. Vata season, we are moving excessively quickly. Outside and inside, our minds are going frantic. We're feeling all the stimulation from the summer, and as things are dying off, it's still going on inside of us, maybe even around us. So we need to consciously take the movement and just slow down, especially when it comes to exercise. This is specifically what I'm talking about when I say slow down, is because when we're coming out of summer, it's bright out, we have so much sunshine, life, you're outdoors all the time, so you're doing a lot more activity. But as we transition into fall, our body craves more of that slow, conscious movement. So instead of going to cycling, on the lakefront 5 times a day, doing like hot yoga, blazing out there, just doing your HIIT exercises or really like jiu-jitsu, or any like high intensity like training that you're doing that is totally qualified for in the summertime when you have a lot of that fire going on inside of you. Doing that when you have all this excess air and ether will only like push you out of balance even further, because it's going to keep you stimulated. It's going to keep your body and your mind just very active, and that movement going all outside of you, you'll kind of turn into this like tornado in a sense in your own mind. It's a crazy, scary place to be. So as we transition into fall, we really want to consciously slow down. Maybe incorporating some like slower hatha yoga, doing some like Pilates, doing some reformer exercises, something on the mat, just consciously slowing you down. Doing some yin yoga is very good. Our body is craving that rest and reset, so we really want to emphasize that parasympathetic nervous system qualities that we want to nourish the Vata dosha with, because it's so spiked. We want to bring it back down to that parasympathetic state. So we want to consciously slow down, so ease up on the exercises, listen to your body. This is the time of transition, so be okay with change because it's coming regardless. So these are just 8 healthy habits of transitioning into fall like a boss. You can incorporate some or all of these into your dinacharya, ritucharya, or just daily life practice, which is essentially the same thing. Pick and choose whatever connects with you. Again, always just listen to your body. Do what feels right. If you want to eat a bagel in the morning because you are just so famished from the day before, allow yourself to eat that bagel without zero regret, because that is something that is nourishing you. It's helping you sustain yourself. So honor it as such, and just listen to your body. Take a couple like deep, slow stretchings. Skip morning yoga if it doesn't feel right. Listen to your body, tune inward, and you will transition into this Vata season like the boss that you are. Thank you guys so much for being here. My name is Claire. Again, this is Claire Minded. I can't wait to share more with you guys. I'll see you next time.